Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
Even put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Call out here for a pill. Ready tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me, no, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. We got another episode of Elevated Sports Talk. Shout out to the crew. Let's see who's up in here. Man, Minnesota Marty in the house. Repping on Twitch. Let's go. Repping on YouTube. We got our man Emil. Shout out to Canada. What up, homie? We got the dough in the house. Shout out to B More. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's smoke it up. Let's smoke it up. It is Friday. Get high day.
I know you won't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm going to get you high today.
Because it's Friday. You ain't got no job. And you ain't got shit to do. So, I mean, as far as the news day goes, it's pretty blah. But I always try to get a couple videos. And here's one that you want to be on the lookout for. If you guys watch on YouTube, but you don't watch the YouTube shorts, I'm telling you are missing out on good content that we're throwing down here on the channel. I'm always finding really dope interviews and getting little pieces of them to just showcase with you guys. And here's a little piece. We got a few Amon Ra videos that are going to be coming. Found some dope clips from the most recent podcast that he did with the pivot. Where is it? There we go.
Is going into, I already knew it probably is not going to be a fun night because my brother got drafted 3 years before me. He won the 6th round, and I remember sitting in the couch in the living room with him. And me being, his younger brother, I wanted him to, I've always looked up to both my brothers, but, the first one to go to the NFL, I was excited for him. And we were just sitting there. Day one, obviously, we knew he was going to go day one. Day two, we're thinking he might hear his name called, nothing happened. And then day three, that day three is super long. It's a bunch of picks. And he's sitting there, and I'm like, damn, he might not even get drafted. And so I remember my mom went upstairs. She was, she couldn't do it no more. She was crying in the bedroom. I had to distract myself, so I went upstairs and played Fortnite. But I couldn't even play straight. I was thinking about my brother the whole time. And then I went back downstairs, and, he got a call. Wasn't until something else.
Man, Amon Ra's got a crazy story. Not even really that crazy. More of it's like crazy. Like they said, so your dad's last name, Brown, your mom's last name, Brown. How are you Saint Brown? And he said the dad just went in, just added it on the birth certificate, and that was it. There's no like rhyme or reason necessarily behind why he got it, other than the dad thinking that it sounded cool and just added a Saint to his name. So all of his kids are Saint Brown, and him and his mom, and the dad and the mom, they just got the regular Brown name. What up, Tino? Just showed a little clip from one of Amon Ra's most recent podcasts, talking about his brother, how he got drafted in like the 6th round on day 3, how he had to deal with that. Tino said, bro, I had no idea. He was half German when I seen his mom. It was like an old white lady. Yeah, I mean, they have a pretty interesting background. And he said, like, he was talking about how they just grew up like way different. And yeah, obviously, having a German mom or whatever, it's gonna make a difference. Because he talks about like when they were kids, like they're always going to different places in Europe and traveling the world and all this. And then he's like, but yeah, and then when I asked, some of the guys, on the football team, like, well, you ever been out of Cali? They're like, nah, I haven't even been out of the city. And so they just had like a crazy upbringing compared to a lot of people. Yeah, Tino said, dude speaks like 5 languages. Very, very intelligent. Very, very classes and all this. And so he said that's one of the reasons why he feels like he's a little bit more intelligent, just like the amount of different people that he was around in his whole life. I mean, he said literally in 0 classes with any of his football friends. He was like, man, it was all the nerds that I was hanging out with during class, but it was like those were the guys who were in the same class as me. So, you know, those were the guys who I was hanging out with. And what's his name? Who's the thing? Channing. He asked him, he was like, hey, so we hear this word around the grapevine that you're kind of an asshole, you know, when it comes to practice. And he's like, what? He's like, I'm the coolest motherfucker around. It's like, I have fun. And like they looked at him, it's like, it's only a guy who doesn't have fun who has to like yell at you and convince you and say, I have fun. But he was like, why do people think that you're an asshole? Or why would someone, you know, say that you're an asshole? And he was like, man, because I just don't take no shit when it comes to practice. If it comes to the weight room, like he's like, if someone tells me, you know, let's go catch some balls after practice, because he said he's still on that catching 201 balls a day or whatever. That's still his workout. 201 balls a day he's going to be catching. And he said that you know, he'll tell the guy, whoever it is, they say, you want to come catch some balls with me? Good, we'll be there this time. And he said, I had a bunch of guys who it's like, you know, they'll show up once, maybe they'll show up twice, and then they're not back at it again. And he was like, I don't bullshit, man. He was like, my dad, he was like, he was so fun. You know, he's like the happy-go-lucky guy, always making jokes, always laughing. But he was like, but when it came time to get this work, when we were in the gym, there's no fucking talking. There's no fucking laughing. When we're out there at practice, it's game face all the time. No fucking talking, no fucking laughing. And then Channing, he was like, man, he was like, yeah, you would be an asshole. And, but man, he's just serious, man. His pops, he said that him and Aquimius, he said like they would get in trouble if they talked during the gym sessions, you know, like his dad. I mean, fuck, wasn't his dad like Mr. Universe or like runner up for Mr. Universe or some shit, like going up against Arnold Schwarzenegger in bodybuilding contests, you know, way back in the day? He said when they got in the gym, man, it was all serious. Nothing but work. Nothing but work. And that's why I got Amon-Ra as my number 1 wide receiver this year. Amon-Ra is the number 1 wide receiver this year. Like, it's really coming to fruition. Like, maybe the last couple years, people are like, oh, he's just a 4th rounder, you know, like he's going to come back down to earth. Like, nah, man. He's the man. He's only gotten better every year. Only gotten better every year. What up, Emil? He said Devontae Adams said he wants to get the fuck out of Vegas in the Netflix series Receivers. Yeah, I mean, all of this was last year, though. But yeah, I did see that. I did see the little clip. I haven't watched an episode yet. But very, very soon. I mean, why the hell would he want to be in Vegas last year? Jimmy G, Aiden O'Connell, I mean, they were trash. They were trash. So, I mean, can anybody blame him for anything that he was saying? I did find a couple funny videos, though. This one, it's a video of someone who's playing their very first game. It looks like high school. But this shit is funny.
First time playing football.
Watch these blocks. Watch the block.
Oh! Hit your man! Yeah!
Now watch this block.
Go crazy! Go crazy!
Oh, man. That dude got laid out twice. And the second one, I mean, that would definitely look like it was a block in the back or something. Did not look like a legal block, but that shit was funny. He laid that dude out. Now, I'm pretty sure this next clip that I found, that this was from the quarterback. Tina said, oh, damn, I missed it. Play it again. Oh, all right. this shit's funny. Watch these blocks. Watch these blocks. It's this kid's first game. It looks like high school. I think it's high school.
First time playing football.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Hit your man.
Yeah. Watch, here comes again. I mean, there's no way it wasn't a flag on the second one. Unless they weren't looking at him. But that shit was funny. He fucked that dude up. Got him twice. Got him twice on the same play. The first one was hella clean. Second one, though, straight up fucking, straight up tackled his ass. That's funny. When you're trying to get your coach's son to quit the team. Oh, man. And now this next clip that I got here, I think that this was from the quarterback show. Tell me, I mean, I know Tino saw it. I mean, I saw it, but I only saw it like once, so I don't remember like a bunch of stuff from it. But it's Mahomes. And I want to know if you were the defensive lineman, like, well, it's a lot of DLs and LBs in this clip, but look at this. Like, would you be pissed if Mahomes was doing this to you?
Good rush, 3-4. Good rush, baby. Yeah. I know you fast. I got it first, though. I know that. I know you gonna hard me down, though. Good rush, bro.
Like, would you get pissed?
Good rush,
if you were the guy? You're not getting the sack.
They got me. Yeah, they got me.
Mahomes gets the ball off. Good rush, bro. Good rush. I think it would be hella. I think a lot of guys would get pissed off, man. Like Mahomes just being all nice and cordial, like after you smash the shit out of him, and is like, good rush, bro. Good rush. Tino said, be nice, bro. If they want, they can land on you, job security. But that's the thing. It's like, I mean, yeah, you don't want to talk shit. Like, you know, like you're not gonna, I don't know. Mahomes is just like killing him with kindness, though. Like, that's just funny to me because there would be a lot of guys out there talking shit, or maybe you get a cheap shot or whatever, and you're out there talking shit. And he's just talking everyone up. Good rush, bro. Good rush. Good rush. 3-4. Oh, man. Like, there's just like the only bad things that you could say about Mahomes is like his family. Like, I saw a post today where his dad got another DWI, man. Like, what is wrong with Pops? What is wrong with Pops? Like, why can he not get him a driver? Some of these guys, they're too old school, man. They're too old school. Oh, shit. Tino, find a clip, bro. Find a clip. Because I remember that one. Yeah, Crosby was getting to him, man. Whoo, Crosby was getting to him in that game. I can't remember if that was when they were in KC or if they were in Las Vegas in that one. But yeah, Crosby was he was fucking him up. And it wasn't even really a lot of sacks that he was getting. He was just like fucking him up. I don't think he was telling him, you know, hey, nice rush 3-4. What's he, 89? Nice rush 89. I bet he wasn't saying that too much. Like when you get hit by Max Crosby, I'm sure that shit just hurts a little bit more than he's getting hit by other people. Oh, we've been getting a lot more subscribers coming through because all these shorts are helping us grow. And yeah, we're 14 subscribers away from 5,000. We are super close. We're super close. We're almost there. We are almost there, almost to 5,000. This was a long grind to get here. There's a lot of competition on YouTube. We already know that. And I'm feeling good about how we're growing over here. Feeling good about how we're growing. Because usually in the off season, we're super slow until we hit August. We've been hitting a little bit of stride. Right? Tina said the good DLs are not so nice, right? They just want to eat you for breakfast. All right.
It's great.
I'm here all day.
I'm here all day. You with the road move? What? You with the road move?
After the games, he always comes up to me. I go up to him. But when it's between the quarters, he knows what time it is, and I know what time it is when he's out there.
He was mic'd for us every game.
Oh, for real?
He's part of the Netflix show that we're doing.
Oh, that's sick.
First time you guys played each other this year. I mean, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I need to see that. I need to see that.
Raiders now lead 17-0 at 9:22 to go in the second quarter.
I was already frustrated. We weren't playing at a good enough level that I expected, and it kind of just snapped.
And now the Chiefs will have second down and goal to go. Mahomes takes a snap. In trouble, moves out past Crosby. Fires it late. Kelsey at the catch inside the 10. Stefan's one. Stumbles into the end zone.
Man, I know we all remember this game.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Man, this was such an awesome Kelsey game. Josh said show the Bronny vid. What up, Josh? I showed that one on Monday.
All of a sudden, I go into that mode where I don't even know what I'm saying.
I need to try to find game 3. I think he only scored like 3 points. It's brick shit house. Bricking all day.
Whenever Coach Reed has to grab you and pull you aside, that's when you know you're going a little too far, because he's usually like letting your personality show. And Coach Reed grabbed me. He's like, "Hey man, we got to calm down
it's
just
horrible.
a little bit."
It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show.
He said it was Trenton Simpson that did it. Oh man. Yeah, I'm curious to see how long this goes with people. I mean, it's only the LeBron fans that are still like defending Bronny, and man, just leave that man alone. Yes, my bad. It's a clip before this. Crosby just pushed Mahomes a little after each play. Mahomes lost it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, these they like the DLs, especially the big ass ones. Like, even if you're like, because he wasn't hitting them, you know, like it's not like he was getting like late hits, but like literally just pushing them. I remember that shit, and he was getting to him. Fourth quarter though, everything changed. See, Derek, you weren't complaining 2 years ago when Travis Kelce was doing that, but I don't know if you had him 2 years ago. And Bake said Mad Max is the GOAT. Oh man, he's the GOAT of the gingers, that's for sure. GOAT ginger. Yeah, it wasn't enough for a flag, but enough to piss you off. Yeah, because he's strong as fuck. Like all the defensive linemen, like most of them are just, those are the guys who are doing like the max reps, you know, at the combine or whatever. It's usually either those offensive linemen or I'm sure it's more defensive linemen than even offensive linemen. Those guys are the killers, man. Remember what Dion said? He was like, yeah, when it comes to like my quarterbacks and stuff, I want guys from like secure households and, you know, two parent household and stuff like that. And he was like, when it comes to my defensive linemen, he was like, I want them dogs, man. I want the guys coming from the single mother homes, guys with a chip on their shoulder, guys who are ready to kill. Oh man, Derek said I got Kelce when he was average, just 1 year too late. Man, he's coming back though, and you're not going to have any of them this year. He's coming back. Yes, imagine how strong his fingers are and keeps poking you with his forearms, dude. Probably had hella bruises. Yeah, he just hit like the spot where the where the chest protector's knots keep. Oh man, like the Kill Bill shit. Remember? What if you're only in fingertips length of your enemy? Man, I bet Crosby. I bet he can fuck you up just with his fingers, man. And give you the 5-finger poke of death, dude. But yeah. I wonder what Bakes, I want to hear from you. What do you think that defense is going to turn into like this year with getting Christian Wilkins over there? Because I don't know if there's ever really been a time where you've had like at least my recent history where like there's been two guys who are highly paid on the line, not two guys who are good like on the line, but two guys that were like highly paid like on the line. No, I haven't watched it yet, Tino. I've been busy. I think what it come out on Tuesday. Yeah, I've been so busy. I haven't even had a chance to do it. And I kind of want to watch it live and like throw it on Rumble so we can all watch it together. Cause I am curious about people's feedbacks as well. I got him in the 18, been trying to trade him to you for Neighbors for the longest. I mean, Neighbors is just a higher value than Kelce. And if my team was like not sucking over there, I probably would, but my team fucking sucks over there. What a meal. Overpaid for sure. Oh, this? Mahomes doesn't even know how to trash talk. Josh said all those people vouching for him are going to learn real quick. Gonna learn today. That is for sure. Raiders defense low-key pretty good, though. Makes it we were a top 3 to 5 defense by the end of the year. I'm predicting top 3 with Wilkins and Tyree healthy. I guess I'm not buying the top 3 to 5 defense. Like, why? Explain to me why they were like, I mean, is that based on statistics, based on the score that they gave up? Like, what is that top 3 to 5 defense even based on? Let me know that, Bakes. I'm going to smoke this bowl and wait for that answer because I'm very curious. Now, I've started the process of ranking my top 25 IDP. We're getting there. I might be able to record that today and then just drop that. I'm probably just going to record that one, maybe edit it up a little bit. And plus our head coach is fucking Hall of Fame linebacker, defensive minded coach. Yeah. I mean, I understand that. Tell me why they were top 3 to 5 last year. I'm waiting for that. And what Josh say? What are we thinking about Philly D this year? I've got the Pats, Baltimore, Philly on my roster in Dynasty. I mean, Philly lost some pieces, but they gained some pieces as well. I feel like they're going to be very similar to what they were last year, maybe even a little bit better. Yeah, getting Devin White over there, that's really going to help their linebacker core for sure. Then you get Chauncey Gardner back. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Derek said, I feel like the Raiders don't have a good enough secondary. Good pass rush, though. Yeah, I mean, their DBs are very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Splain and Diablo, I mean, they're solid in the interior. Tina said, damn, I can't find the clip, but I remember last season JJ had a chest injury. Turns out he had a cut inside his lung and started coughing up blood on the sideline. Damn. Yeah, he was back the next week. Yeah, I mean, they don't show a lot of the craziness when it comes to injury, so it is cool to like see this. Like, you definitely make them respect a little bit, give respect for these guys a little bit more, because I know, especially for fantasy football, it's like we almost don't even think of them as humans, you know? And like, I know I do, and I try to have empathy when people get hurt, and I tell people, like, don't take fucking victory laps when people get hurt and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, when a lot of times we're not even, well, I mean, not us, but like a lot of times, like most casual fans, like they're not even watching the games. So like, they are just whatever their stats are. Like, it's like whatever happened during the game almost doesn't even matter half the time. But that's why you guys come here, because we know what happens during these games, and context matters. Context matters. Dude, the Sun God had a torn tricep all season. Damn, he was playing with a torn tricep all year. Damn. See, Amon-Ra's a fucking beast. Amon-Ra's a beast. What are we smoking on here? Is this Candy Rain? Candy Rain, what we're smoking on? 25% THC. Josh said, I think the Pats are a top D contender if Judon and Gonzo can stay healthy. Yeah, and I mean, one of the things that I brought up, I think 2 days ago, is that Judon and the Patriots, they are talking about an extension, but apparently they're pretty far apart in the extension numbers. But yeah, I mean, I want to see what Christian Gonzalez can do in a full year, because the way that they were using him kind of as like hybrid safety corner and just like, you know, just different parts of the field, like very, very interesting. Like, I feel like he really could be good for IDP leagues, and you're not going to have to draft him soon. Yeah, I'm curious of how they use him though, because he's not just a traditional cornerback. Like, you can use him in way more ways than you can just use like a just straight up, you know, number one corner. And yeah, what did he play last year? He only played like 4 games, 5 games. before he got hurt. But yeah, Patriots, I mean, they're always known for having solid defenses, and a lot of it is because of the defensive line, like guys that we don't even know, but they're like super, super solid. But yeah, interesting. Thanks. After Antonio Pierce took over, the defense took off. Jack Jones alone got 2 pick sixes. We shut down most of the opponents, especially everyone in our AFC West teams. We only lost to the Colts last month of football. Okay. I'm not going to say, I mean, yeah, of course, getting a win is like really good for the defense, but I don't know if we could just say they were top 3 or 5 because you only lost 1 game in December. But I'm with you though. I mean, they definitely started playing better after Antonio Pierce took over. So that's one thing that we can't take away is that Antonio Pierce hypes the fuck out of that team. He really does hype the fuck up out of that team. Josh said, anyone else have a strange feeling the Bears it's just gonna be the Bears and completely flop, or is it just me? Right here. Right here. I've been talking shit about the Bears and Caleb Williams and really just how the expectations that are being put out for Caleb Williams seem unreachable. Like he's pretty much like as far as like the most casual fans are concerned, he's throwing for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, like as a rookie. And I know people don't actually say that, but when you're grading him as like a top 7 or 8 quarterback, like just like right now, like those are the kind of expectations that you have, just something that he's not going to get to. But yeah, I really feel like Keenan Allen not going to live up to whatever people think he's going to live up to, that Caleb's not going to, that offensive line sucks still. Even if they made improvements, that offensive line still sucks. And yeah, I'm with you. I do think that the Bears flop, and I think they're going to finish 3rd or 4th in their division, and it's probably going to end up being 4th in that division. Big said, I feel like that about the Donkeys. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody's excited about the Broncos like at all. I mean, I know Big Tons, he's our resident Broncos fan. We're going to see how he feels about the Broncos here, but Bo Nix, I'm not excited about. I'm not excited about any other potential QB that they might start. Troy Franklin, like for someone who is so highly touted pre-combine, he didn't show anything at the comp. Like he went from like a potential 2nd round pick to like what, 4th or 5th rounder because of how bad he did at the combine. Feel a lot of the Oregon Ducks is the scheme. I really feel like that. And like, he ain't scheming motherfuckers in the NFL. Like you really have to win one-on-one matchups. Josh said even Allen went off last year, but he's getting old, injury prone. And he's not gonna have. Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, that's the first thing that I think of because I feel like DJ, I want to score more. I feel like he can hit his 1,000. You know, I mean, even during the times when it was like Mitch Trubisky and the Bears were like so shitty, Allen Robinson was still able to get 1,000. You know, like 1,000 now with 17 games isn't what it used to be. I don't even get excited about 1,000-yard receiver. Like those could be like a wide receiver 3 on most weeks because 1,000 yards now, if you play all 17 games, that's only 58 yards a game. You know, like that's nothing. We don't get excited about a 60-yard game unless you got a touchdown and, 7-8 catches, like something like that. Like then we're kind of excited. But yeah, 1,000-yard receivers just aren't what they used to be. So I think it's going to be pretty easy for DJ Moore to hit his 1,000. But I think that's it. I don't think Keenan Allen's hitting 1,000. Dunze, like, man, I mean, I have Romy Rome on a bunch of teams that I like, just rookie teams. I mean, dynasty teams where we had the rookie draft because like I had the 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 and like a handful of these. And so he was there and I was like, fuck, like, do I pass on him and get like fucking Coleman or something? So I have Romy Rome just because I felt like I had to get him out of like, just his talent. But yeah, I mean, he's third fiddle, man. Is he going to be like JSN? Like everybody who was so on JSN. And I was like, man, JSN is way too fucking overhyped. And he literally went to one of the worst teams that you can go to get wide receiver production because he's not passing the top 2 guys. And it's going to be the same thing this year. Like, yeah, maybe JSN's good in a year or two. And that's what sucks. Like, I'd buy him next year. Like when Lockett gets out of there, because I think this is the last year on Lockett's deal. When Lockett gets out of there, things are going to change. But man, Lockett, him and Gino and Metcalf, they still got that rapport, and they've been playing together for, a few years now. And JSN just, I'm sure he's going to get a little bit more playing time than he did last year, but man. And seeing Derek said, me and you, Huss, the only ones that feel this way about JSN. Like, man, I got so much hate for talking shit about JSN. Like when I started like putting my videos like into shorts and stuff. And like one of the clips that I did, it was me saying the wide receiver who I like, the wide receiver who I'm not drafting at all, no matter what. And it has to do with how high he's going, but it's also how bad I think he's going to do in 2023. And it was JSN. I got so much hate for that. So much hate for that. I need to bring that back. I need to go back in TikTok and because I don't know if I have it on YouTube, but I know I could download it from TikTok. I got to go back to a year ago and go find that clip and go see all the comments. Go leave a comment like, where you guys at now? Where you guys at now? Josh said, I think Rome's the best wide receiver on that team. If they make him the number one, they're going to use the others to complement him. I'd say they have a better chance. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree that he's the best wide receiver on the team right now. I still think DJ Moore is the best wide receiver on this team. Rome, could he leapfrog Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen's probably going to get hurt. It's probably going to be by default that he leapfrogs Keenan Allen, but I still think he's got to show me something before I can say that he's better than DJ Moore. DJ Moore has been a solid wide receiver in the NFL for years and years now. Yeah, Rome getting like 600 yards. Not a fan of that guy with the Bears. Yeah, real shitty landing spot. Same thing with JSN, the situation, getting 600 yards too. Yep. Mino said he likes Rome. Derek, Keenan Allen won't stay healthy. If you only like someone because someone's not going to stay healthy. And I just said that too. Keenan Allen, he's probably by default going to jump up to number 2. Rome, that is. But he's still not better than Keenan Allen. As of right now. The only reason people could say he's better than Keenan Allen is because Keenan Allen keeps getting hurt. Outside of that, when healthy, Keenan Allen, some of the best hands in the league, and then one of the best route runners in the league. So Rome just went to a place that was really bad for a rookie wide receiver to go because he's not going to get an opportunity for 25% target market share. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Neighbors, shit. I think we would all be pissed if Neighbors had less than a 30% target market share because there's literally nobody over there. It sucks because it's Danny Pesos. It's fucking garbage. Because it's Danny Pesos, but we would rather have the opportunity. I'm not either way. It almost doesn't even matter what team they went to. Neighbors, I think, was being looked at as a guy above Rome in most circles, but just pre-draft, just when we're talking combine stuff. But yeah, it is. It's ugly, man. For redraft, yeah, I'm with you, Derek. Yeah, JSN, Rome. For redraft, I'm not drafting them at all. There's almost no time. That bakes another Quaalude. You love me in the morning. Josh, I still have hopes for JSN. One injury away from getting to show how he could be the guy. Yeah, but it's not. Tyler Lockett and DK are pretty they are. I'm not saying they never get hurt because I don't want anybody to get hurt because of me saying it. Knock on wood. But they've been pretty healthy over the last couple years. I feel like most rookies are in a position where they're one injury away. But yeah, I can't bank on it. JSN legit might be a free agent by the middle of the season in redraft fantasy leagues with small benches. And if one of with Lockett or DK gets hurt, yeah, then he's going to come into a lot more targets. Once Allen retires, Lockett retires. Yeah, then I'll be on him. So until then, I'm good. Yeah, it sucks. We don't, how many times are we targeting a wide receiver 3, on a team? And we're yeah, this guy's about to fucking kill it. Like even Tyler Boyd, like he might have been one of the most sought after like wide receiver 3s for a while. And we're not drafting him with any kind of, urgency. Like we're not putting him into our lineup without any type of urgency unless like one of the wide receivers were hurt, in front of him. So, I mean, it just, it sucks. What up, Bones? He said, do a live best ball draft. So today we are not doing a best ball draft. It seemed like Friday has been like a tougher day to fill up. I mean, if people are down with it, I'm always down to get another draft going. Tino said Rome and Marvin Harrison Jr. the next JJ and Chase. I mean, they're not. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. maybe. I'm just not going to give it to Rome, though. Like, not because of where he's at. Like, I'm not even talking about talent, just because of where he's at. And speaking of JJ and Chase, you hear JJ saying he loves Ohio. I bet. Yep. Derek said we're on the same page with this. If Rome and JSN were on another team, I'd feel different. Yeah. And I mean, we talked about it like from the beginning that just really bad spots for the opportunity that they're going to get. What up, Chance? He said neighbors had no QB whatsoever to help them. I'm an LSU alum, and I think BTJ landed in a good spot. Who's BTJ? Tino? Who's BTJ? Oh, Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I think I might be a little bit higher on Brian Thomas Jr. than some. Because I said I liked his landing spot too. And not a lot of people do. A lot of people think that Trevor's trash. Draft him really high in order to get him. Yeah, it sucks. Bakes, I wonder what Keenan Allen's ADP is right now in best ball. Let me go pull up like the mock drafts. Let me just try that. And we'll see what his ADP is in sleeper in general. 104. So what round is that? Like 8th round? Yep. 8th round, mid 8th round ADP. So some teams, some leagues, maybe that's not even a starter. Maybe that's a bench player. And Josh said I only play Dynasty mostly. I'm speaking from that point of view. Yeah, I mean, I play. I mean, shit, I'm in like 30, almost 30 Dynasty leagues, and so we all play both. We all play both, but I think we're all kind of getting in. I think we're all kind of getting in redraft mode right now as well. Yeah, and I'm with you, Chance. I do like the landing spot for Brian Thomas Jr. for sure. Big said Caleb wanted Rome like Stroud wanted Dell. Yeah. Opinion on Ladd. I don't like that I have to draft him so high. Like, I mean, when I speak on these guys, I'm mostly speaking from, a fantasy football standpoint. And, man, Ladd just makes me nervous. He really does because he's going so high. And as much as we want him to be the number one wide receiver, does he even have the makeup or the build, to be like a number one wide receiver? Like he really feels like a Cole Beasley like type of guy to me. And I mean, 6 foot. So he's not, I mean, that's still small, but it's not, it's not 5'10", 5'9". I know we're getting a lot of those guys. I feel like that's what I feel like he's going to be like a Cole Beasley, like when it's kind of all said and done. And even though, like there is going to be competition for targets because like, even if people consider him the best on the team, like if you consider him the best on the team, that means he's going to be going up against the number one cornerbacks, like in the leagues. And that's going to be a lot of pressure, like as well. And Herbert spreads the ball. Like Herbert doesn't force feed anybody. He makes the smart read. And maybe that's different this year because maybe the lack of wide receiver and pass catcher, and I mean, the running game probably not as good. I mean, maybe he has to, make different reads, but that's kind of why I don't like Ladd. Bake said, bro, it could be your second flex. Great value on Keenan. But let's see who are other guys who are going in that same range. Christian Kirk. JSN, Coleman, they're going like right before him. Lad McConkey, I guess making the case for Keenan for me. Javante, Pollard, Zamir White, Brian Thomas Jr. Man, Keenan's amongst all the rookies right now. Chris Godwin's going after. Calvin Ridley's going after. Christian Watson's going after. I'm not even talking IDP, just talking. Yeah, it's not that horrible. It's not that horrible. I feel like I'd like Keenan over a lot of people over there. What up, Pam? Sleeper Hurst for that reason. Who are we talking about? Which Hurst? Said Lad runs impeccable routes. He'll play in the slot a lot. And see, but yeah, and if you're playing in the slot, you're not the number one wide receiver like on your team. So I mean, that's what I mean. Like if he's a slot guy, like a Cole Beasley, type of guy, that's not going to be the number one wide receiver on the Chargers. Like the slot guy is never going to be the number one wide receiver. It just doesn't happen that way. Size is a factor in my opinion. Derek said I'd rather draft Josh Palmer later. Yeah, I mean, you get Josh Palmer. Like, if we're getting Lad McConkey in the 8th, I mean, we're getting Josh Palmer in the 14th, 15th, 16th round. Tino said, I have to be honest, I really didn't hear anybody talking about JSN besides Kittle last season. I was confused the whole time. He was brought up on the show. Well, I guess I see a lot of fantasy Twitter and fantasy Twitter is, fantasy X now. And I'm telling you, man, like there are so many people who are all over JSN's nuts. Like, I mean, I brought it up. One of the guys who, he has way more followers than me. I know that much. And this is a guy who Des Bryant brought on to his fantasy like platform or whatever. And he said that JSN, and there was a whole bunch of people piggybacking off of this take. This is just the person's take. And there's a big thing on fantasy Twitter. And he said he was going to lead the Seahawks in receptions, in yards, and in touchdowns. And like, that's how much hype like certain people like had like around JSN last year. But yes, all the logical people, Tino, knew that JSN fell to a really bad spot. Yes, for sure. So if I remember correctly, Seahawks grabbed JSN when everyone thought Flowers was better. I mean, you're the college guy. I mean, even last year, like I wasn't like this year, I probably got on talking about like, potential rookies and rookies a little bit earlier than I did last year. JSN was all the hype last year. Like going into the draft for like the fantasy community, like JSN was all like, he was the guy who was the most hyped. So where does Lockett go when Pops is in the draft? It's funny because K2 Chris, he grabbed Lockett in the 10th. I mean, no, in the 11th. And he was like, there you go. Got him before Crispy could get him. Because Crispy's got so much Lockett in this in the best ball tournament. I swear he has him in so many of these. If Lockett somehow goes off, and specifically in the 17th round, like that could be a move that makes Crispy win. Tino said I was shocked because they didn't need one. They still, I wonder why. Like, I mean, we never really know the logic behind like drafting a wide receiver with your first round pick when you already have 2, but maybe they just thought Lockett's old. He's gonna get hurt or something. Big said I'd take Zamir over him. I feel like a lot of people would, and ADP wise, I think Zamir was, where was he? I think he was very close. Yeah, they're literally like 3 or 4 ADP picks apart. Zamir White's 108, Keenan Allen's 104. Oh, Hayden Hurst. I like what sucks about the tight end position in real life. Like, there's a reason why I really hate tight ends. And a lot of it is because like the average tight end in the NFL, they're not a pass catching tight end. Even if they are, they're really not. They're really there to block more often than not. Average tight end stat line, 2 to 4 catches and 15 to 35 yards. Like that's what sucks about these tight ends. And if there's if a tight end is between 2 and 4 receptions and between 15 and 35 yards, like on a normal basis, like I just can't mess with them. Like it is one of the reasons why I add the tight end premium to the leagues that I'm in. So it boosts those shitty tight ends. It boosts them a little bit higher, to where maybe they could be somewhat relevant. But Herbert, man, I mean, he's an outside the numbers like type of guy. He goes down the field with authority, with aggression, with all these types of adjectives that I love to say. And he's just not a guy who peppers the tight end like that much. So I'm going to say no. And tight end 2, a tight end 2 would be between 13 and 24. I don't even want to play tight end 2s. It sucks. That's why in all the leagues that I host, we took out the tight end spot and we add an extra flex in there. So people have the option of playing a tight end, not a requirement. Derek said facts to me. Flowers was way more explosive. Yeah. Here's the early one. Huss Carson Beck. Oh yeah. Yeah, Flowers pretty much is the number 1 with the Ravens because Bateman sucks. Uh-oh. What's my analyst on Dotson?
You don't have to come and confess that you did it. We're looking for you. We don't find you. I'm letting you know now so you can run and tell that.
Homeboy. I like the outlook. He still feels like a better best ball guy, than a traditional league, but it's all going to come down to how much Jaden Daniels is slinging that thing. Like it really is, because Dotson's not going to be a guy who's getting the underneath routes or going over the middle. Like he's the deep threat. And so I'm nervous about him, and I probably won't have him in any redraft leagues, but we love the drops. We love the drops.
So you can run and tell that.
Homeboy. What up, Gary? He said, who's your top 8 rookies? Are you talking in a super flex league or single QB? Give me that, and then I'll tell you my top 8 rookies based on that. Because if it's super flex, there's going to be a couple QBs in the mix. If we're not talking super flex, I don't think any QBs would be in the mix. Derek said, JSN reminds me of Jerry Jeudy. Man, Jerry Jeudy was so hyped and then just so cursed with shitty QBs. So cursed with shitty QBs. Because if I was a team owner, first question I'd ask my executives, how many fantasy football Super Bowls you win? Said, let me see your Yahoo rankings. If you can't do it on the digital gridiron, you can't do it on the real gridiron, homie. That's what I got to do, Tino. Got to turn my fantasy football ranking into an NFL GM or assistant GM position somewhere. What if that happened? Like, what if that happened somewhere in our life that like an assistant GM or like, someone like that, like the guy in Moneyball, like Jonah Hill in Moneyball, just like we're some random guy, but this random guy is there because of his fantasy football lore. That'd be fucking sick. Who's the Ravens wide receiver 2 besides Andrews? That's a trick question. That's a trick question because, even though on paper it might be Bateman, that shit's ugly. I don't even want whoever their wide receiver 2 is. But let's see. Who's it going to end up being? Yeah, on paper, it's probably Bateman. It really is. Like, Bateman sucks. He sucks. Maybe Jeudy revives with the Browns. Maybe. I know Amari, the pooper scooper. I know he's kind of pissed off right now over there. Maybe Jeudy does get something, but man, Watson needs to be something, or Judy's never going to be nothing. Said that could be a movie for sure. Adam Sandler goes from fantasy champ to Super Bowl champ. Man, that would be insane. That would be fucking funny. That would be fucking hilarious. It might happen, right? Like fantasy football is so big. Like what if there's just like this huge tournament that happens? You don't even know what you're in. It's like the Mortal Kombat of the NFL, but it's on the fantasy football gridiron. And it's this crazy tournament where everybody's invited. There's like hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of people competing in this one fantasy football league. And you don't even know what it's for. You just know it's for the NFL. And it's on the NFL fantasy app. So you so you have to deal with the shitty circumstances of the NFL fantasy app, like at the same time. You don't even know what this league is for. It was a free league that got put in, and there's going to be one person who ends up winning this entire thing, and then they end up getting a job with the worst organization in the NFL. Who would that be? Who'd be the worst organization? Worst front office might be the Chargers. Worst front office might be the Chargers, but it might be the Browns. It might be the Browns, where you have to go to one of the most cursed teams ever. And you go over to the Browns, and you're the assistant to the assistant general manager. And you have to move your way up. Tito said, okay, let me write this out. There's a good writing prompt. Man, because this does sound like it could be some shit out of a movie, man, like we've seen in the past. Ooh, Emil said Giants have the worst front office. Man, they probably do. They probably do, but they also have 2 Super Bowls this decade, or this century. So worst front office or not, like there's a lot worse teams out there than the Giants. Not saying the Giants aren't horrible. They're horrible. But 2 Super Bowls this century. It's a lot more than a lot of teams out there. That's 2 more than a lot of teams have this century. That's for sure. Man, Tino, maybe we should just write this movie, film this movie. And we got to get the NFL to sign off on it, because we got to have the trademarks. It can't be like Any Given Sunday where the teams back out and shit. Like, do you guys know about that? Like, there was so much fuckery going on in Any Given Sunday that's why that's why they don't have like NFL names. Like, that's why they're the Sharks and the fucking, I don't even know what what else. I only remember the Sharks with Steamin' Willie Beeman. Oh man. That'd be a good movie. Great fucking movie. All right, let's smoke some more weed. Got to smoke some more, because the ideas will be the ideas. Let's keep them flowing. Tino said, I want to be the bad guy coach playing against Adam Sandler. It's so funny, in a lot of these football movies, they always have the same football coordinator. He's like the football coordinator for Hollywood. And I know that you've seen him, but it's also like he's very easy to forget as well. But he always, not always, but a lot of times he was like one of the opposing coaches in the replacements. He was the guy who was yelling, "She's been shaking her ass for 3 minutes, Jimmy," like yelling at the fucking yelling at the ref, and he's just looking. Jeez. The Florida judge ruled that star Tyreek Hill is the father of yet another child. He fathered 5 children so far in 2024, and his wife is pregnant. She has 12 children total. Man, Tyreek Hill is trying to break. He might have already broke it. He what the fuck is his name? Why can I not think of his name? Who was the Chargers cornerback who had like 10 kids in 1 year? Damn it. Who was that? Why can I not? Antonio Cromartie. Oh, man. And Tim said, I had to take a P test. I'll be back. Oh, man. He said, I studied. Don't worry. All right. Good. Yeah, man. Tyreek, 5 kids so far in 2024. We're only in the 7th month. Jeez. He's having a kid every single month. Dude, what the hell? How many kids does Tyreek Hill have? Florida court declared his but man, they got to take him to court like on this yet. Another little girl bringing his unofficial roster of kids to 7, with another on the way. Whew. Miami Dolphins wide receiver could have as many as 10 children dotted around the nation if the rumors are believed. Man, there's just certain guys out there, and I know this is true because I know one of them. Like, guys got like 10 kids. Like, all you got to do is look at a woman and she just gets pregnant. Like, how? Antonio Cromartie had a vasectomy and had 3 kids after having a vasectomy. Like, damn. Who's Travis Henry? Who's Travis Henry? But yeah, so that guy who's the football coordinator for everywhere, he's in Any Given Sunday as well too. I mean, he's in all of these movies because he's the football coordinator, and he always figures out they always give him some kind of role where he's in the movie, so you know that it's him. And let me see. Hold on. Football coordinator in Hollywood. I'm sure his picture will come up. Nope, they're showing like real teams. All right, let's see. Football coordinator, The Replacements. Movie. Guess I should put movie in there. Nope, just a bunch of pictures from The Replacements. Yeah, Replacements is funny, man. It's one of my favorite football movies of all time. Nope, can't even find the picture of him. Travis Henry played for the Bills. Okay, has a lot of kids too. Damn, played for the Broncos and the Bills. Chance that I have a question: O'Connell or Minshew? I think I'd rather have Minshew. O'Connell, how long till they say fuck it and bring in Minshew? I mean, it could be real quick. Like I think I'd rather, if I'm picking one and one only, I'm picking Minshew. Because O'Connell, I mean, what did he show us last year to make us think that he's anything worthy of being a starting QB for an entire season in the NFL? Like, showed us nothing. Played for the Titans as well too. Let's see how many kids Travis Henry has. At least 11 children by 10 different women. One of those women having twins. That's the only reason why he doesn't have 11 different babies' mamas, because one of them had twins. Man. That's crazy. Hey, yeah, see? Like, he's leading the charge. He's leading the charge. Let's see. Let's see how many kids does Antonio Cromartie have? 14 known children. Man, Cromartie, rookie numbers for those guys. Chance I got people arguing with me saying it's O'Connell because of Adam saying he believes he's the starter. O'Connell might get 200 yards passing once. Yeah, and Bakes, where are you at? Bakes is our resident Raiders fan over here. He's our resident Raiders guy. And I wonder what he thinks. Who do you think, Bakes? Out of O'Connell or Minshew? You think it's going to be O'Connell? And I think that Adams, like, is probably going to say whatever is best for the team. Like, unless he's like, I don't know. See, I didn't see the show Receiver. It probably has something to do with the show Receiver. Why they're saying that it might be O'Connell. Anybody who's watched it, Tino, have you watched all the episodes yet? Like, did they say something in Receiver that makes us think that Adams likes O'Connell? Yeah, 14, Derek, 14. Yeah, you got one birthday every month and then getting doubled up on a couple months. But actually, I'm sure a lot of them are doubled up because it was when he was going from city to city, like during his crazy like tour where he was, you know, I mean, what did he have? He had like 12 interceptions that year or something. He was just insane. He had like 3 on Peyton Manning. Raiders have a better chance of winning with Minshew at QB. And who knows if they even have a good shot at winning, you know, this year. Chance, yeah, he's not LeBron. He doesn't say who it is, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, said Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew split snaps with the starters during the offseason. Team activities will continue to do so until training camp begins. Yeah, like neither one of them are this is a true QB competition, and we've seen Gardner Minshew win a couple QB competitions. Like, remember when he was like, man, I'm not even taking a dump because I'm not, no number twos around here. Gardner Minshew just he has a swagger and aura about himself that like somehow gets him the job. Let's see, according to Reed, both O'Connell and Minshew got off to a rough start in OTA, struggling with accuracy, turnovers, while offering in that way, in little way of a vertical pass game. Why pay Minshew to come play backup to O'Connell when he's not the guy? Yeah. I mean, if O'Connell just, I mean, if he for sure beats him out in OT in training camp and, you know, during the preseason, like for sure, then my tune will change. But like, I don't think O'Connell's winning a QB competition. Not with Minshew. Because Minshew's going to be able... Minshew's done good enough to start for multiple teams. Did it have to do with injury? Sure. But it was better QBs in front of him than Aiden O'Connell. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm not sold on Aiden O'Connell at all. Again, like I said, Fat Car is only getting first reps out of respect for what he did for AP last year. They said he wants to be the backup. Listen to his interview with Crosby on the Resh. The guard dog gonna take the team over. I'm with you. Woo. That was a good ball. What do you guys think? Should I do another division for the IDP divisional depth chart breakdown? Let's see. What have we done so far? We've done the NFC East, the NFC West, the AFC South, AFC North, and AFC West. What do you guys think? Should we knock out another division right now? Probably only take 20 to 25 minutes. Now, I'm glad I got some of these Amon-Ra clips. Man, the video that I posted of Amon-Ra last night has 354 likes. The one that I showed here earlier, and it has almost 9,000 views. Amon-Ra's the man. He really is. And the Antonio Brown clips, like, they just keep getting more and more people. Damn, the Antonio Brown clip that I posted last night, I pretty much posted them back to back. It has 9,500 views. And we got 19 subscribers from it. It has a lot less likes, and I'm sure it has dislikes in there because Amon-Ra, the likes on his were 98.6% on that video, and then the one on Tyreek Hill, there's 94.7, and Amon-Ra's got like 90 more likes. People love to shit on Antonio Brown. It's funny. The comments are fucking golden off of some of these videos. Chance, who's your fantasy sleeper this year if you had to name an early one? Curtis Samuel. That's someone he can get for free. You might even be able to pick him up as a what's it called? As an undrafted free agent in some of these leagues. But yeah, Curtis Samuel's my deep sleeper. And Bake said, which division? Well, I'm asking what division you guys think I should do. So I've done AFC The only one we haven't done in the AFC is the AFC West. And then the ones that we haven't done in the NFC are the NFC North and South. So it'd be one of those 3 divisions. JPZ in the house. What up, bro? Let's smoke it up. Chance of where will Fournette end up? And does it really matter? I don't think it really matters. I think he's a shell of himself. I said potentially KC, potentially with the Chargers, especially like the type of running backs that they're throwing together. It could be real ugly over there for the Chargers, but I don't know if it really matters. It's been a few years since Fournette's been decent enough to start. You got to go back to, was it when he was on the Bucks, when he had 50 plus targets and a crazy amount of catches? Big said Joe Brady loves Samuel. I'm predicting a Debo role from this year. I mean, that'd be nice. I mean, I don't know how much rush he's going to get, but yeah, I mean, when you look at the way that Curtis Samuel's been used from a lot of his career, like kind of in a Debo light like type of role, right? I mean, you look at him getting rushing touchdowns in the red zone, the real short, over the middle passes in the red zone. They have a lot of rapport when it comes to the Titans, I believe. Okay. I'm big on Shakir. Should I be? I feel like it's real easy to be big on a lot of the Bills pass catchers because there's so few. I guess I'm just not big on Shakir. But you get him super late, so I mean, it's not like you have to draft him early or anything. So he's definitely worth a dart throw. I think Shakir is going in front of Curtis Samuel in a lot of these drafts. But Curtis Samuel is always someone who kind of prevails, and not a lot of I mean, is Shakir experienced as much as Curtis Samuel? Like, no, Curtis Samuel is literally the most experienced wide receiver that they have in their core right now, and it's not even close because they don't got no Diggs no more. But yeah, Curtis Samuel, that's just a super deep sleeper. Like when I think of sleeper, I'm not trying to give someone in the first 10 rounds, I really don't want to give anybody who's in the top 120 ADP because that would be 10 rounds. But it just depends on who you're talking to on who's considered a sleeper. All right. So yeah, any thoughts, guys? What do you think? What division? What division should we do? Can do the AFC East. Can do the this for IDP, what I'm talking about. We could do the NFC North or NFC South. Coleman, Shakir, Samuel, Kincaid, Cook. Seems like a lot of targets will be spread out. Yeah, I don't think that Josh Allen is going to force feed anyone unless it ends up being unless the cream really starts to rise to the top with one of them. All right, Bake said AFC. We've already done AFC North. Yeah, I mean, we could do NFC North. It's either NFC North or South or AFC East. We've already done 5 so far. Ryan, so which side do you prefer? Hurts, Brees, Kamara, Lamar, Saquon, Metcalf? Probably the Lamar, Saquon, Metcalf, but really because I like Metcalf more than Kamara. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. But I wouldn't even be making a trade like that. I really wouldn't. All right, NFC North. Let's get it. And I need the 420 crew to go like these videos when they drop. It's under the IDP Life playlist. All right. So get the Lions pulled up first. Packers. Vikings. Bears. All right, let me get the screen added. All right. Let's smoke one more bowl. And yeah, we'll start with the Lions. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the way I've been doing it. I think I've been going in order of how the teams finished. I can't remember if the Lions, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Vikings finished higher than the Bears, right? Better record. So yeah, we'll start with the Lions, then we'll go Green Bay, then we'll go the Vikings, and then we'll go the Bears. Who's out there with us still? Who's tapped in? Throw an emoji in the chat or something so we know who's tapped in out there. Move this over here. All right. One more bowl before we start this. And then we'll knock it out of the park. Oh. Your neck just cracked like crazy. I should have been closer to the microphone so you could have heard it. Dude, I totally forgot about Carlton Davis coming over here. That's going to be a huge bump to the I'm going to say that again, but I'm just looking in the background. Texas TV say not nothing, knocking nothing out of the park. Get ready, motherfucker. Get ready. I'll show you. All right. Here we go. What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler. We're bringing you more IDP content. We are covering the NFC North with this IDP video. And we're doing our IDP divisional depth chart breakdown. Let's get it. We're starting off with the Lions here. I always go through each positional group. We'll start with the defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson, one of the guys who you got to draft super early. For that reason, I almost am probably avoiding him because you have to draft him so high. But if you can get him at a little bit of a value, I mean, we love it. He's only been going up and up and up every single year. We could have a third-year breakout. I feel like he's probably going to be consistent with what he's been the last few years. They got Marcus Davenport over here now. Like, he might be the guy who you're able to get for like nothing, like even an undrafted, like free agent like status, like maybe put him on your watch list. Those are the only guys. I mean, DJ Reader, man, we're probably not going after the interior defensive lineman. How about these linebackers though? Because you know you got to get in the zone, the anal zone. Alex, anal zone. Let's go. He definitely finished as a top, somewhere in the top two LB2s last year, for sure. I know he's in the top like 30 overall. Jack Campbell, are we gonna get a sophomore bump out of him? I feel like we are. Feel like Anal Zone is still the guy over there. He's the guy who might be leading the team in tackles. Carlton Davis came over here from the Bucks. I was talking about this right before we started recording. What a huge bump for their secondary, getting Carlton Davis over here. He has been money in the bank for the Bucks in real life, and also been real good in fantasy as well. Guy always gets a shitload of tackles. Brian Branch, though, he's going to be the guy who is going to be highly sought after from the DB spots. He's their strong safety, and he's money in the bank. Oh, yeah. Kirby Joseph, I think a lot of people forget about Kirby Joseph. He's someone you can get a lot cheaper, and he gets a bunch of tackles. I mean, the Lions were scoring so much that teams had to throw on them a bunch, and for that reason, Kirby Joseph was pretty valuable. The other two QBs, Terrion Arnold, we'll see. We'll see. Amik Robertson, that's their nickelback. Probably not targeting either one of these guys in any drafts, but the nickelbacks are guys who we like to target, especially on defenses that get thrown on a lot, and the Lions get thrown on a lot. So I'd maybe put Amik Robertson on your watch list. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, there we go. Lions knocked out. And Texan Stevie, even with your troll jobbing, doesn't matter. We're still gonna knock it out. Big said Taron Arnold is gonna be way better than Branch, in my opinion. Branch will have more tackles, but Arnold will have more INTs, I feel. Yeah, but in IDP 1, 2, 3, we want the guy who has more tackles. Like, unless you're putting up like, I don't know, 10 INTs. Like, if you're not getting a shitload of tackles, like, you're probably not saying he's not going to be a rosterable guy, but probably not a guy who we're going to be starting with any kind of consistency. We want the tackles, man. The tackles are where the points are. Guys aren't getting, one interception like every single day and every single game, and even if they did, that's only 6 points. We do get points for the returns, but I mean, to get 6 points for Brian Branch, I mean, that's 3 solos. That's 3 solos. That's nothing. That's nothing. He said, facts. I love Brian. He's my boy, Blue. Hell yeah, man. He's the man. He's the man. Because, yeah, as far as it's going to be Carlton Davis who's going to have more tackles, I'm sure. He said, I'm in best ball mentality. I like those INTs. Yeah, I mean, a couple big games. I mean, shit, like that's really what you want, right? Guys who have the super big play factor. I mean, when it comes to the redraft, and even though we're not drafting, my mind is already in redraft mode. And I want the more consistent guy. That's really what we're trying to get, the more consistent guy. Hey, Texan Stevie, shut the fuck up. Said they don't play every day. I corrected myself, you asshole. All right, what do you guys think? Should I smoke what is this? Yuzu Euphoria, or should we smoke some Candy Rain? Let me know. And this bowl's for you, Texan Stevie, asshole. Man, I love the football shit talking. I love it. I love it. Yeah, we're going to go with Green Bay next. And Green Bay might be the worst Green Bay might be the worst IDP guys out of all 4 of these. I think so. Because really only 2 guys that I want. And that's it. And maybe 2 guys. No. Texan Stevie's not Stevie B. He's literally Texan Stevie. Like, that's what he is on Twitch. So that's why I call him that. But yeah, he's on Facebook right now. But no, he's the guy who's he's Peacock's biggest fan. He loves the Texans. All right. Here we go. All right, let's get over to the Packers here. And I was talking about it right before we started filming this. This might be the worst team for IDPs in this division. Throw it in the comments wherever you guys are. Who is the worst team do you consider? Like the team with like the least amount of IDPs that we want to roster? Because I mean, Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt. I don't know if I really want to target like any of those guys. Like maybe Preston Smith would be the guy out of all of those that I would target if I was going to target one of them, but I kind of don't want it. Quay Walker, him and Edrin Cooper. I mean, those are really the only guys who I feel like I want to roster off of this team. Isaiah McDuffie, kind of blah. Jair Alexander, I mean, when he plays, he's usually not getting a bunch of tackles. I mean, I know the big plays can happen. I'm talking about these guys from an IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring. That's the default on Sleeper. And it's like almost identical to the scoring system that I created way back in like 2008. And so Jair Alexander's like not really a guy like that for IDP 1, 2, 3. And then Bullard and Xavier McKinney, maybe. I don't know. I mean, the safeties have been pretty blah. Like over, I mean, just the way that their defense works and everything. Like, I don't know. The safeties just don't get a shitload of tackles on a consistent basis. But yeah, Derek said he wants McKinney too. Yeah, maybe. I feel like the guy who I might want more than McKinney would be Kasan Nixon, their nickelback, because he started getting pretty consistent with the amount of tackles that he was getting. But yeah, this to me, Green Bay Packers are the worst IDP team as a whole, like the least amount of players that I want to roster or even draft. Things may change, but we're talking pre-draft and we're talking all about the draft right now because we're all getting ready for our drafts. If you need a league to draft in, come join our community, 420crew.com, 420crew.com. You can join for free and you'll get information about a bunch of leagues that are happening, best ball leagues, redraft leagues, dynasty leagues. Come join up. And that's all I got to say about the Packers. All right. Well, I never heard of him, Nixon. I talked about him last year a couple times. He had some pretty good games. And I know he was someone that I rostered once upon a time in the 32-man league where it's really bad, like over there. Hell yeah. He said, oh shit, we're the .com now, moving on up. Man, that .com was a lot. It costs a lot. That's for sure. We're definitely moving on up. 420crew.com. That was the most expensive. I'm assuming that's the most expensive domain that I'll ever buy. It was like 3 G's. McKinney had 265 points last year, which is really good. Yeah. It's okay. He was also on like one of the worst teams, like offensively, like last year. So I feel like no, I believe it. Kendricks got hurt like last year. But yeah, that was I mean, he's on one of the worst offensive teams like last year. He's going to be going to a team that now has a pretty good offense whose safety positions, I mean, they just haven't produced. Like, look at some of the guys they've had over the last, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. Like, they're not doing it. Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds, like, super underperformed like last year. Super underperformed. Because that's the thing. I'm not saying I won't have these guys like on my roster at like random points. I'm talking about going into the draft though. Because if you go break down, I mean, 265 points. I mean, I guess that is a good average of 15 points a game. But I know that he wasn't consistent with 15 points a game. More than Duggar. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, Duggar, he was one of those guys last year. He was like better for best ball than for redraft. Because I don't think he was getting drafted so high last year that I didn't really have him in redraft. Like, that's what it is. It's all based on the value. Like, yeah, maybe McKinney, maybe he's a guy because he's not shit. I don't even know if he's being drafted in the best ball. I'm pretty sure he is. All right. There we go. Let's get over to the Vikings. Let's jump over to the Minnesota Vikings. Definitely one of the better teams, I would say, with the amount of players that we want to grab. Because we want to grab, I mean, if we're talking about the line, I mean, things kind of changed. But Jonathan Grenard, I mean, if you're playing on sleeper, you got him as the LBDL eligibility. I mean, that's where I'd be going, would be Jonathan Grenard. We also got Jonathan Bullard over there, who's pretty solid. Harrison Phillips, I mean, he was a decent like fill-in on random times. The linebackers, though, I mean, we got Blake Cashman. We got Yvonne Pace Jr. They got Andrew Van Ginkel now. I mean, there's 3 linebackers who I'd be willing to draft over there. Obviously, depends on how big of an IDP roster you have. It seems like Yvonne Pace, he's the one who everybody really wants this year. And he was solid last year when he came in. The DBs, though, they got a lot of DBs who are worth picking up over here. Harrison Smith, I mean, he's been, worth rostering for a long time. But now you got Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus. So Cam Bynum, he's the free safety over there. Josh Metellus, he's their nickelback. And I know that he's kind of like the hybrid, like cornerback, safety. Like he gets thrown all over the field. But Cam Bynum and Metellus, like those are probably the most sought after guys now on this defense because they get a shitload of tackles. Byron Murphy Jr., that is a huge upgrade in real life. Might be good for fantasy. I mean, he was always getting a bunch of tackles when he was with the Arizona Cardinals. The front 7, I don't think it's, even though it's going to be good for fantasy, I feel like it's taken a step back, in real life, losing a guy like Daniil Hunter, some of the other guys that they lost. But yeah, Cam Bynum, Metellus, those are going to be the guys I feel are drafted the highest on this team. And those are the guys who I'd be the most stoked to grab, even if you do have to pay up. But Blake Cashman, him and Andrew Van Ginkel, they're going to be very, very cheap in the grand scheme of things. And those would be the guys you want, some sleepers right there. Yvonne Pace, I don't know if he's going in sleeper range, but if he's still a sleeper in some of your leagues, like people don't know who the hell he is, he's a solid interior linebacker. Killed it last year, and I feel like he's only going to keep raising in value. And that's all I got to say about the Vikings. Yeah, definitely, Derek. Minnesota has the most players defensive-wise. Yeah, because, I mean, 3 linebackers, well, 4 linebackers if we're considering Grenard a linebacker. I guess I'm just in the sleeper mode where he's in at the LB, and I just think of him that way. And but yeah, Harrison Smith, Bynum, Metellus. I mean, shit, there's more than half this starting lineup. I'm down to roster in fantasy for sure. All right. Damn, and you know what? It might be the Bears who have the second most, because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 players on these starters, and one of them is not even Tremaine Edmonds. One of them is not even Tremaine Edmonds or Jack Sanborn. Yeah, Grenard most def. Hell yeah, and you get him so late, it's just like it's good money in the bank. And JPZ said the candy apple a little bit earlier. So, let's do what we came here to do.
Smoke weed every day.
Let's get it. And guys, I've been posting the dynasty and redraft leagues that are available to join. The dynasty leagues, I mean, those ones are drafting ASAP. So I would say, if you want to get into a league that's drafting right away, that's definitely happening. With all the redraft, I have leagues that are drafting as soon as they fill, and we're going to figure out a day and time as soon as they fill, because all the redrafts are going to be fast drafts. And then we got leagues that are filling now, but drafting in August. So I'm really just trying to fill up these leagues like where I can, because I know we're probably going to have some flakes who end up dropping out or not paying after the fact. But pretty much, I mean, the only way you don't have to pay right away is if you're a 420 crew member, or at least within a reasonable amount of time. Yeah. And Texas Stevie says, I'm just here to laugh at your shows. Hey, I bet you are, bro. Keep coming. Keep laughing, motherfucker. Yeah, maybe a tie with the Bears in Minnesota. Yeah, definitely. And the 2 teams with, if we're just considering the two best and two worst, like they're literally just it. Yeah, Vikings and the Bears, like they're the ones with the worst defense out of that division specifically. So gonna be on the field a lot, and they actually got players that we like a lot. Yeah, because I'm not super excited about a bunch of Lions players or a bunch of Green Bay. Brandon, what up? Said, hey, time for a bowlie right there with you. Let's get it.
Smoke weed every day.
Let's get it. Baby. Is Myles Garrett injured or just holding out? Probably just holding out. I don't think he's holding out for a contract, though. Is he? I don't know. Guess the news is pretty blah with the Browns. Didn't even see that. All right. Pack this ball in here for after the show or after this. All right. Let's get to the Bears. And here we go. The Bears. Derek said it might be a tie with the amount of players that we want from the Bears in Minnesota. I agree. There's a bunch of guys that I want to get from the Bears. And I mean, it's not really going to be starting with the line. The only player that I want off of their line is Montez Sweat. Dude is a beast. He was a beast when he was with Washington. He came over here. He's doing Montez Sweat things. I feel like you don't have to draft him super high, but I feel like he is still, like, if you play in a league with DL specifically, he is going to be one of the more sought after ones. Now, when it comes to the linebackers, TJ Edwards, that's the only one that I want. You have to pay up. He is worth paying up for. Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Sanborn, I'll take them later. Like, if they're there very, very late, like in the draft, and I don't even want Jack Sanborn. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds, like, kind of, but it's TJ Edwards. Like, man, he gets all the tackles, like, over there. Like, he is the man. But when you get past the linebackers, though, that's where they got a lot of money. They may have one of the best DB sets out of all of NFL in real life and in fantasy, because we want Quan Brisker. That's their strong safety. He's the man. Shitload of tackles. Kevin Byard. I mean, he's been doing it for years and years and years. He gets a lot of INTs. He gets a lot of tackles. Tyreek Stevenson got the bag. He gets a shitload of tackles. And then how about Kyler Gordon? I mean, someone we've been talking about for a while, ever since he was a rookie, been killing it ever since he was a rookie. And now he's over there as their nickelback. A lot of tackles. Really, any of those four guys, I'm down to roster, and you get them all hella late. So, like, we want defensive players that are on suspect offenses. And even if people think that the Bears offense is going to step up, it's still not going to be a premier offense in the NFL. Not yet. These DBs, they're going to get a lot of tackles. Jalen Johnson, he's probably going to get a lot of tackles too. I'm just more excited for the other four than him. All right. Well, there you have it. I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show. I'm going to mention it again. Come join our fantasy community. There's lots of reasons why you would join the fantasy community. One of them is because you want to get into leagues. We got a bunch of leagues: Dynasty, Best Ball, Redraft, Vampire, Forced Trade leagues, 3 QB leagues, just insane amount. Auction draft leagues. We got, if you have a podcast, we have a Battle of the Brands league, $55 entry. 14 teams, 14 podcasts are going to be competing against each other. Maybe you want to get some advice during a draft. All of this started for me as a fantasy advice service. 420crew.com. Go look at all the tiers, and you can even join for free. You're not going to get as much access as you will being a paid member, but if you are a paid member, you also get shouted out as a producer of the show. Shout out to all of our 420 Crew Patreon members, the All Access members, the Elite members, the Superstar members, the Ultimate members. I appreciate you guys. Join as a Superstar member or higher, and you're going to get mentioned with all the producers of the show every single show. Appreciate you guys. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. All right, and we're still here. And Texas Stevie said, I'm going to avoid the advice. Man, what are you playing? One IDP league anyways? Trust me, you avoid the advice, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot, bro. We're still here, Derek. We're still here. That was just for the video that I'm going to upload. Nope, I'm just good at what I do. I'm just good at what I do. We're still here. We're still here.
Smoke weed every day. Yeah, baby. About to start a little puff. Yeah, that's motherfucker. About to show y'all who the real that is.
Woo! It's a great one. Fooled me. Let's go. Let's keep it smoking. Let's keep it smoking. Texas Stevie said, yeah, kind of good. Yeah, you avoid that advice, bro. You're going to be on the wrong side of the tracks. Like, I may have some crazy offensive, theories about stuff, but I mean, I put people onto IDP players like nobody else in this game. So yeah, that's one thing that I know. Anybody who watches this channel for IDP advice, you're going to know about players way, way before your league mates do. Because look at all those guys. How many people could honestly tell me in your IDP leagues that all four of Quan Brisker, Kevin Byard, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, like how many people could tell me all four of those guys are getting drafted in all your IDP leagues? Like all of them are going to have very similar production with the possibility of being like a DB2 on any game. All right. What else? What else? All right. So we got through that. I'm getting pretty close. I'm getting pretty close to my list, my IDP list. I'm going to do a top 25 video. I've got it nailed down. I've got it nailed down to about 30 guys right now. So we'll have a couple honorable mentions either way. And Texan Stevie, but what draft pick did you draft him as? And I'll tell you whether I like that or not. Because if, like I said, if you're getting him later, cool. But I feel like he's still a little bit inconsistent. He's a big play guy. IDP 1, 2, 3, you want the guys who get a shitload of tackles. So I'm not saying we don't want to target guys who get sacks, but I don't want to pay up for a guy who mainly gets sacks because I could get a guy who's just as nearly consistent, but I can get him like 10 rounds later. What do you think about Will Anderson Jr.? I like him. I mean, the reason why I don't like him, same reason I don't like Hutchinson, because I have to draft him so high. It's really the only reason why is because you have to draft them so high. So you really, really need them to produce. And if I'm going to get a player that high, I'm just going to go for like a Bobby Okereke or a Zaire Franklin or a Foyo Lacoon, like, I mean, I'm just going to pay up a tiny bit more and just go for like the real creme de la creme and the guys who are like hella consistent, like all the time with still that exact same, like, upside. If not, like guys like Hutchinson and Will Anderson, I feel like I skip over like that tier of guys a little bit. And it's just because like I feel like you're really paying for them at their ceiling, and it's going to be hard for them to live up to that. And there's always a lot of random defensive linemen who end up coming available. So I mean, I know Dynasty's different, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking specifically on a Dynasty league for sure. And a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, a little bit more redraft than anything. Derek said, you never seen Hutchinson or Parsons on my IDP too high for me. Yeah, it's crazy. Is it going to be controversial if I leave Micah Parsons out of my top 25 IDP players? Because I feel like I don't want him so much, but like I'm looking at all the other players that are like there. And like Parsons doesn't get a lot of tackles. Like, he really doesn't. And because I'm talking from every single position, you know, we're talking defensive linemen, linebackers, and DBs. Like, you wouldn't be outside the top 25, like, defensive linemen or outside the top 25 LBs if I'm only talking one position specifically. Derek said Parsons ain't in my top 25, and I'm a Cowboys fan. Makes that autoed Parsons just said fuck it. Yeah, I mean, for best ball, like, I mean, best ball, I mean, it'd be awesome, but you still gotta fucking get him so early. I'm surprised Parsons went round 9, I think. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. I mean, he always does. I mean, he's hyped. He's the most hyped defensive player, like, right now. Probably because he's on the Cowboys. It said, I just know the scoring system, and Parsons ain't it, bro. Yeah, on the low. Is that now I want to watch Dave Chappelle? Let's get a Sesame Street. I said, fuck it. Oh, man. Classic. Damn. Derek's not telling any lies. He said Parsons is JSN for IDP. Damn. What a statement. What a statement. I'm already having trouble with my list, though, because I got Foyo Lacune number 1. To me, Foyo Lacune is just a clear-cut number 1. Like, I don't even think, like, could someone else get drafted before him, like, on preference? Yeah, but, like, Foyo Lacune's him. Like, he's him. He's been this guy for, like, years and years and years now. I don't think he's slowing down. Foyo Lacune for redraft number 1. Not even close. But now I'm having trouble with number 2. I really am. Because, like my heart tells me Roquan, you know. My heart tells me Roquan. But, like, my head is telling me Zaire Franklin or Bobby Okereke. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, I take this list, like, very, very seriously. And that's why. Like, Derek says TJ Watt is number 2. I mean, if we're talking DLs and him just DL, like, yeah. But we're talking like these are all IDP flexes. Like, that's how I'm going to explain it as well. Like, these are all IDP flexes. Like, if we're talking, you can put TJ Watt in as a defensive lineman. Like, he might be number 1 because, like, that's the biggest cheat code, you know, out of anywhere is TJ Watt being thrown in at the DL spot. But this is like if we were playing just 25 IDP flexes, how would I rank these guys? Texas TV, I think Garrett's the best edge rusher, or Watt. I'm going to say Watt is the best edge rusher. I mean, he's proved it. I mean, you know, we're splitting hairs between guys like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt anyways. And Max Crosby, like, I mean, we'd just be splitting hairs. TJ Watt's up there. He's not number 2 for me, though. Not number 2 for me. He's the cheat code. He's the cheat code at DL. So that's why even like when we're doing our best ball, I feel like I don't pick him. I feel like I don't pick him as high because he's just a flex guy. He doesn't have like the DL cheat codeness, you know, to him. Yeah, my mind's telling me no. I don't want to sing any R. Kelly shit. Derek said Okereke's number 2 if you're not doing DLC. Like, I mean, that's where I feel like I need to lie. Zaire Franklin's also him, though. Zaire Franklin is him. Who finished with higher points last year? Let's see. I mean, I take that into consideration, but it's more or less just to see their previous bodies of work. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. Zaire Franklin finished a little bit lower. Yeah, see, Bernard's another guy who's like up there. Like in my eyes. I mean, TJ Watt did kill it last year. Yeah, I think I'm putting Bobby Okereke there. But I think I'm sold on TJ Watt being number 3, like right now. Okay. So I'm with that. So we're throwing Okereke at 2. And especially having the shitty offense that they're going to have, like this is going to equal more. All right. And we're going TJ Watt at number 3. And I think I'm going Terrell Bernard at number 4. I mean, Terrell Bernard's him. And then we're going Roquan at number 5. I'm going TJ Edwards at number 6. I'm going Antoine Winfield at number 7. We're going Zaire Franklin at number 8. Bobby Wagner at 9. And Fred Warner at 10. All right, there's my top 10. Derek, so I'll go Bernard at number 4 too. Like, yeah, especially when it starts getting down to like them getting cold. Like, there's going to be teams that are going to be trying to grind it out against the Bills. And like Terrell Bernard, he's a fucking savage. He's a savage. He deserves it. All right, he said, now that is a list. There we go. So Olakun is my top 10. Olakun, Okereke, TJ Watt, Terrell Bernard, Roquan, TJ Edwards, Antoine Winfield. That's the only non-linebacker to crack the top 10 for me. Antoine Winfield, Zaire Franklin, Bobby Wagner, Fred Warner. Fred Warner, he's stepped his way up. He's stepped his way up to the top 10 because I was hating on him last year. I think I had him at like 13 or something, and I was like, he still hasn't proved that he could be a top 12 guy to me, like consistently. And it's because he doesn't get a lot of tackles. I put him in coverage a lot, and but last year the things changed around. Derek said, great list, Huss. Appreciate you. We got more to do. I mean, fuck. I mean, that's the top 10. I mean, the 11 through 25 is going to be hard. 11 through 25 is going to be hard. Bake said Bernard over Roquan. Blasphemy. Man, I feel like Roquan took a little bit of a step back, and a lot of it had to do with Patrick Queen, for sure. And they're literally back-to-back. Roquan's still top 5. Like I told you, my heart was telling me put him at number 2. Like I told, like this is a list from my brain, not from my heart. And Terrell Bernard is him, man. Like he really is. Like the thing that I feel like sucks about Roquan is he plays on a way better defense now than he did when he was with the Bears. Like the Bears defense was not good when he was there. Like he was that ultra super shiny, so shiny. But over here, I mean, he's still the best guy on this defense, like by far. But there's just a lot more better good pieces than on the Bears, and so he's not getting as many tackles as he used to get. And Trenton Simpson, unless Trenton Simpson completely sucks, that is going to eat into Roquan a tiny little bit, like no matter what. And either way, they're literally back to back, number 4 and number 5. And you can tell, like Roquan, like he might be number 1. Like to me, like with who I like personally, if I'm choosing from my heart, because ever since Roquan came on the field as a rookie, like the only year that he had that I was like, I kind of wish I didn't have him this year was his sophomore season. And it was still good by like sophomore IDP player standards. Like it was still like amazing. Like Roquan's been in the fucking league since he's been 20 years old, killing it. But He's got to prove it. He's got to prove it. You want to get back to number 1? You want to get back to number 2? We prove it on the gridiron. We prove it on the gridiron. And so, yeah, I'm putting Terrell Bernard above Roquan, making my line in the sand. And either way, still top 5. And TJ Edwards right below that. Like, I almost feel like TJ Edwards could even out jump Roquan. Really, because like Tremaine Edmonds and Jack Sanborn, and Derek said earlier, Sanborn's trash. He really is. Like, I mean, he was a victim of opportunity and why he did good for those couple games, you know. And then you Jack Sanborn was so good that you pay TJ Edwards and fucking Tremaine Edmonds like buku dollars to come in. I did not say that Trenton Simpson was better than Roquan. I said that Trenton Simpson, unless he sucks, he's going to eat into Roquan's numbers a little bit. That's what I said. That's what I said. He is not better than, I mean, Roquan's his big bro. No. Trenton Simpson, we're driving the hype train for Trenton Simpson, but I mean, you're not going to hear me talking about him when we actually get to this top 25, video. And Queen's not better than him either. I didn't say Queen was better than Roquan. I said because Queen's so good, he ate into Roquan's numbers, and he did, for sure. He said, bro, Roquan's been elite forever. How dare you put him behind that jabroni? Terrell Bernard is not a jabroni. He is not a jabroni. Like, Terrell Bernard is beyond on the come up at this point. Like, he deserves to be ranked this high. He does. He does. Let's see what Roquan's numbers were last year. You know what? I can't even look. I got to go to Pro Football Reference. I can't even look on Sleeper because they don't have the fucking solos and the assisted tackles listed out. They just have total tackles, and I hate that. Man, see, it's the 84 solo tackles. Like, he's got to get back to like the 90. Like, he's only okay. Like 2022, he has 103 solos. That's combined between the two games, or between the two teams. But he got more solo tackles on Chicago in less games than he did on Baltimore. And then you look like, I mean, 2021 and 2020, 95 solos, 98 solos. I mean, he's getting a shitload of assisted tackles, like, either way. So, like, that's happening. It's the solos. And then he gets hurt in 2019. I mean, that was his rookie or his sophomore year where he got hurt. And then he even as a rookie, 89 solos. Like, we're talking that his solo tackles were like, in the years where he was healthy, and he didn't play 17 games because, like, they sat their starters. Like, that's another thing. They sat their starters. So it's like those points aren't counting, as a total. I wish we could just, like, filter out week 18. Yeah, Roquan's better than Queen and Simpson. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about Patrick Queen, like, I'm sure as we touch this top 25, like, all around, but Patrick Queen's the man. All I hear is you hate Roquan. Man, I fucking love Roquan. Oh man, see? That's why I got to do this from my that's why I got to use the old noggin versus my heart. Cuz yeah, Roquan, I love him, man. I love him. You're even pulling at my heartstrings right now, saying all I hear is you hate Roquan. Because this is the lowest I probably have had him, like, since 2020. Like, and even 2020, I had him up there, and that was after a bad that was after a bad sophomore season. And still had him up there because he's so fucking good. He's so fucking good. And he was on a bad offense, like, as well. That's what's different, like, with Roquan. He's on a good defense, and they have a good offense as well. Like, that's what hurts him. He's just on a better team now. Like, that's what hurts him. It sucks. It sucks. He's a victim of circumstance. He really is. If he was on the Bears still, like, man, come on. 100 solos every single year. Like, just back to back to back to back. 74 assisted tackles. Most assisted tackles of his career. Only 5 QB hits. Only 5 tackle for losses. 8 passes defended. Yeah, see, they throw him in coverage a lot. He needs to be rushing the QB more. And just getting behind the line of scrimmage more. Yeah, and seeing, I mean, 1 forced fumble, no fumble recoveries. I mean, that was another thing. Just didn't have a lot of big plays. 1.5 sacks. Like, yeah, they need to let him rush the QB more, but it's like they have such a good line that they don't really need him to do that. Like, that's the biggest difference. Like, he's legit a victim of circumstance. Like, man, I'm going to say it when I mention this. Like, yeah, Roquan should be number 1, but he's on a good team and they don't need him to rush as much as they did with the Bears. Yeah, Derek said if he was with the Bears, he'd be number 1 for sure. For sure. I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, almost, man, I think I am going to do it. Like TJ Edwards, I think I am bumping TJ Edwards above Roquan. It's like, as we're talking right now, it's not, I mean, I love Roquan. But like TJ Edwards, I mean, he's just going to have more tackles is what it's going to come down to, I'm sure. Man, I'm doing it. This hurts. To me, Roquan is the 6th best linebacker in fantasy football. I did it. Oh, man, I did it. It was rough. That was hard. That was a hard move. Roquan's number 6. And it's because he's a victim of circumstance. Like, Roquan is the victim here. He's the victim. Said, yeah, because Queen was a beast. Trenton isn't going to produce that Queen. Year 1, Roquan's going to eat more than last year. Top 3, in my opinion. Bumping him down. That's hard. That one's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's tugging right here at my heartstrings. All right, we got to smoke another bowl. I guess we got to finish this one. He is the victim, and that's how I'm going to play this. Like, Roquan's going to be the victim in all of this. He's getting pushed down to number 6 because he's on a good team. That's the way he feels. How JSN fans feel. JSN is a victim of circumstance. That shit's so funny. I'm not letting this JSN thing go. That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. Man, and Micah Parsons being the JSN of IDP. Oh man. Whoo. I'll give you credit for that, Derek, but we're definitely gonna have to mention that. That shit's funny. Prime time. What up, bro? Doing good. We're talking about, I'm creating the beginning of my top 25 IDP ranked players, regardless of position. And we already had movement inside the top 6. I've got my top 10 locked in. I feel like I'm not changing the top 10, like the top 10 staying. But man, could some pieces move up and down? You know, could some pieces move up and down? I mean, I've already had my number 5 and 6. I already swapped them. And it is the truth, man. That shit's funny. As a Jets fan, I better see Brees in the top 10. He said, and Garrett Wilson in the top 20. So for IDP players, I didn't create my top. I didn't create my top 25, but for offense. But you know what? That is a good exercise, and I think we'll get that going as well. Regardless of position, just wide receivers. And so top 25 out of wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs. That's what I think I'd do. What up, Songs? I just got off work, head to the dispensary before I get home. Let's get it. So I'm gonna roll a fatty for this pimp daddy. Whoa, this pimp daddy. Let's get it.
I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Because it's Friday.
You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. Woo! All right. So now what I got to do, I think I got to go get some clips of some of these guys. Because I know while I'm talking, I can throw like some clips up on the screen, have some B-roll action going to those guys. I'll be talking about some of these guys, and then talking about some of them, have some stats, show up on the screen. Makes it just a victim of circumstance. I still belong. Don't get me wrong. I just want you to speak your mind. Just not on my time. I don't care anymore. This is my life. Where is that from? What is that from? Or is that just off the top of your dome right now? It's funny. Where's that from? Man, but now it's going to get really hard. Pause. Like there's still going to be more linebackers inside the top 25 than anything else. I mean, I'm seeing guys. So Max Crosby, Daniil Hunter, those are two linemen that I'm for sure getting in this top 25. Jesse Bates, Cam Bynum, medalists. Those will be guys who will be in the top 25. But that's crazy. Like there's not going to be that many DBs, not going to be that many DLs who get in top 25. Oh, Josh Hines Allen. That's funny. That's where maybe that's why he changed it to Josh Hines Allen, just so he's not known as like the Black Josh Allen anymore. But yeah, he's definitely going to be in the top 25. But then the rest are going to be linebackers. And I feel like, man, it's going to be tough. At certain spots, it's going to be real tough. Yeah, let me see. Let me kind of organize these guys by position right now. Oh, it's a song. Okay. Nice. Derwin James. I wonder if he belongs to be in the top 25 anymore. I feel like because of the Chargers offense definitely taking a step back like this year. There's a lot of linebackers here. I'm not sure who's going to make the cut, but I feel like all three. Can you guys think, is there any other DLs who deserve to be picked in the top 25 outside of Max Crosby, Daniil Hunter, and Josh Hines Allen? And am I crazy? Is Max Crosby the only one who belongs inside the top 25 for our scoring for IDP 1, 2, 3? He said, fun fact, Derwin James had more points than Parsons last year. Just saying. I mean, Micah Parsons is one of those guys who's like fringe under the 25, for me right now. I mean, here's my list of guys that I'm debating on. So Max Crosby, Daniil Hunter, Josh Hines Allen, those three at the DLs. For the linebackers, Alex Singleton, Ernest Jones, Robert Spillane, Levante David, Quincy Williams, Azeez Al-Shaair, Logan Wilson, CJ Mosley, Alex Anelzone, Frankie Louvu, Joker, Micah Parsons, Patrick Queen. And then at the DBs, Jesse Bates, Cam Bynum, Josh Metellus, Derwin James. Those are the so let me see. I mean, there's only 15 spots. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I got 20 players here, and I got 25 spots. Bro, B Wagner's in the top 10. He's number 9. He's number 9. Yeah, here's my top 10, just so everybody doesn't forget that part. Olakun, Okariki, TJ Watt, Terrell Bernard, TJ Edwards, Roquan, Antoine Winfield, Zaire Franklin, Bobby Wagner, Fred Warner. That's my top 10. So those other 20 guys that I mentioned, those are going to be somewhere in yeah, and it's like a lot of these linebackers. Yeah, Alshire, he's on this list. He's on this list. Logan Wilson's on this list. Yep. Yeah, here's all the linebackers that I have as potential candidates for the top 25. Alex Singleton, Ernest Jones, Robert Spillane, Levante David, Quincy Williams, Aziz Alshire, Logan Wilson, CJ Mosley, Anal Zone, Frankie Louvu, Joker, Micah Parsons, and Patrick Queen. Those are all the linebackers that I have in contention. And I feel like I'm going to have to cut like 5 of them. Because, yeah, Derwin James, I feel like I got to get him. I feel like I got to get him in here. That would be 5 DBs out of the top 25 and only 3 DLs out of the top 25. But then I need to get rid of 5 linebackers. And I feel like Parsons, he'd be like the first one cut. And Primetime said, who's the DL? So I have Max Crosby, Daniil Hunter, and Josh Allen from the Jaguars. He goes by Josh Hines Allen now on Sleeper. That's what I'm saying. Is there any other DLs that you guys can think of that I should have? Because I feel like Nick Bosa, I don't feel like is going to be up here. I'm not putting Khalil Mack on here. Yeah, I mean, and there's just so many linebackers that score more because this is also for fantasy football. It's not for real life. Dang, and I wonder, like, dang, and yeah, this is tough. I mean, there definitely deserves to be more linebackers than anything. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. Yeah, we get to like the CJ Mosley, Anal Zone, Frankie Louvu. I mean, they're all kind of right in the same spots of like Cam Bynum and Medalist as far as like what they scored like last year. And like, man, I mean, Cam Bynum and Medalist, like their offense is only getting worse from last year. I know the second half of the season, that's when they really started killing it. Yeah, I know, Derek. I already said I'm not doing it. I'm not putting Mac in my top 25. He said, but I know you hate him, but said facts are facts, my guy. I know he was there. I know he was there, and it was all because of like one game. Like, look at that. Like, man, when you score 77 points in one game, so 77 out of 342. I mean, when you score 22% of your points in one game, because let's see, what's his average if you take that out? Do we just get our live stream age restricted? No, that was yesterday's show. It's like, how'd this shit happen when we're on right now? But yeah, let's see. Mac's the type of guy to finish with 11 sacks on the year and 7 of them in one game. Yeah, exactly. So let's see. So 342 minus 77. Let's divide that by 16. Still 16 points a game. It's still not too shabby. Cleo Max sucks. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only had 6. I mean, he had 7 games where he's above 20 points, but one of them is week 18 when we don't even play. So he only had 5 games above 20 points. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games where he was under 15 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in single digits. 6 games in single digits. I mean, if we break it down to a per game basis, I mean, that's why I don't like him. That's why I don't like him. All right. I think it's about time to get up out of here. Appreciate you guys rocking. Let's throw out the producers of the show again. All our 420 crew Patreon members, our all access members, our elite members, our superstar members, all the ultimate members. Salute. Appreciate you guys. Because of you guys that this show gets to happen every single day. We're going to figure out, we might get a little watch party going for either Hard Knocks or the Receiver or something like that today. Add Jesse Bates to your DBs. He's there. He's there. It's Jesse Bates, Cam Bynum, Medalist, and Derwin James. Those are the 4 who are on the bubble here of making it. We're going to see which ones actually make it. All right. See you guys a little later today. Peace out.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes the